Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry. And as you can see today, I'm doing some furniture cleaning, and I'm obviously using my VonSchrader dry foam extraction machine. I'll be turning that on in a sec. But I just want to take a moment just to show you a couple of things. And by the way, this is the chair I'm going to clean. This one I'm not going to clean. The lady did ask me about cleaning it, but I had to give her some information about this particular fabric, which we don't run into very often anymore. This was popular in the 70s, early 80s. This is a nylon velvet, and it's what we call a fusion bonded fabric, which means that what we see on the surface here underneath, as you can see, it's completely different. And the fabric, the pile that we see in the top is attached to the back here. Usually it's done with almost like a foamy, rubbery kind of a material, very thin. This one is slightly different, but one of the things you need to be aware of with this fabric when you run across it, and we don't see this very often, but right here, this area here is obviously where the hands have been rubbing on the arm here, and of course up on the back where the head rubs. That's another place where we often see this. But right here, it's so saturated with the oils, it's literally hard. You can hear that, eh? See? It's hard and crusty. And what occurs is that the oils have built up and totally saturated the fibers and worked its way right up to the surface of the fabric, and it's like now it's a hard, impervious shell. You probably can take that off. However, here's the thing that you need to be aware when dealing with this fabric. You can see it's up over here too. But what happens is when you put your surfactant on there, whatever you choose to use, it'll go to work and start to dissolve and break down the oils and everything. But what often will happen is it'll actually, you'll discover that the oils, which are turn acidic over time, have eaten away at the glue that's binding it to the backing, and you go to either agitate it, even with a soft bristle brush, this can happen, or just suction from your machine if you're using, a suction type machine, a hot water extractor or whatever. You can actually have the surface pile literally just strip right off the backing, and you can literally remove this pile off of the back of the fabric, and it just ruins it basically. So now this may not happen, but because I know that it can happen, and I've seen it happen, I've done it myself many years ago. I remember the first time that happened, it was like, ah. But what's happened is that the fabric is actually, in that case, the fabric has actually been damaged by the many years of the oils just basically eating away at the glue. And you go to clean it, and you discover that it really can't be cleaned because it'll just peel right off the back, and you're left with a mess. Now, it's possible that this would be okay, but I did let the lady know that was a possible risk. This chair is obviously, it's very old. The only reason why they're keeping it or using it is because it's comfortable, but they don't expect to use it for very long. It was actually, I think she said it was her mother's chair, and they sort of inherited it. But for what am I going to charge? $115 to do this, and whatever I do to it, it's going to take quite a bit more time to get the results, even if this doesn't come off. But because there's that risk involved, and I did need to let the customer know there was a risk here, between the two of us, we determined that it wasn't worth the effort to try to restore this chair, because there's other issues. There's a tear in the fabric right here, and the cushion is basically shot too. So it's kind of not really worth the risk to try to clean this if I ended up causing, you know, harm right here or any other area, then the chair would be, you know, well, I don't want to do that. So the idea was then that they'll just put a sheet over it and use it for the time being, and leave it at that. This is just kind of a man cave kind of a deal here. So this isn't the main living room. This is in the basement area. So it'll do for now. But I just didn't think it was really not worth risking possibly having the pile come off of this. So anyway, that was my thoughts on that. So anyway, I'm just going to show myself cleaning this. I'll just do the seat on this chair. See if I can get a little bit of light in here. Yeah, that's not much good. But maybe I'll try the blind here, the drape. Oh, that's a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, that's better. So I'll just show you how the VonSchrader works. I did spray a little bit of pre-spray on there, so I use my all rug product. So the way this machine works is on the head of the machine there's a switch that turns on the bristles, the brush. One goes one way, one goes the other way, and then it goes into the second position, which activates the valve inside the machine, which pushes the foam, or generates the solution into a foam and pushes it down the hose, and it applies it to the fabric. You can see the fabric cleaning. This machine does work very well. I've used them for many years. And most fabric will dry within an hour. A lot of them will dry within 20 or 30 minutes, depending on the type of fabric and the soil condition, obviously. So basically that's it. I scrub it on, scrub and apply. Do extra scrubbing if needed, anywhere that it needs it, and then suck it off. And that's how that machine works. So I'll continue on and clean the chair, and hope that was helpful to you guys. And just remember to watch out for these nylon velvet chairs that are loaded up with oil and grease. So have a good day.